Welcome back, everybody. It's nice to see you once again. I can't really see you, but you can see me, but nice to have you back. I want to talk about Connecticut COVID-19. Now, I was going to make a video on April 9th, but I wasn't able to. I was going to do it over the weekend, didn't get time. But today I happened to look at the numbers, and something surprising happened. Actually, I'm not surprised by it because this is probably the third time this has happened. What happened? People have come back to life. People have come back to life. I don't understand why nobody catches on to this. I'm always amazed by this. So back on April the 2nd, we did a video and you saw that things remain the same all the way through, most of it. But I want to bring your attention as I turn my back to the camera, which is really, really unprofessional. I want to look at 0 to 9. I want to look at 20 to 29 and 30 to 39. You'll find something interesting here. And this is not the first time, by the way, that this has happened. Between the ages of 0 to 9, there were 2 deaths. Then on April 9th, between the ages of 0 and 9, there were 2 deaths. And then today, between the ages of 0 and 9, there's 1 death. Apparently people come back to life here in Connecticut. And I wonder, by the way, how many states this actually happens in. I wouldn't be surprised if we're not the only state. Let's look at 20 to 29 years old. 9 deaths. April 9th, there was 9 deaths. And today, April 13th, there are 8 deaths. Mysteriously, 1 is missing. 30 to 39, there was 40 deaths on April 2nd. April 9th, there was still 40 deaths. And then, on April 13th, 39 deaths. 1 went missing again. What is going on with these numbers? I am absolutely baffled. Or am I really that baffled? If you watch me enough times, you know I'm not baffled. You know I'm not baffled. I've been following this thing here in Connecticut for a while. From the get-go and then really halfway through really in depth. And this is no surprise because it's not the first time. So we look at from April 2nd, we saw the no change, and we had deaths from here to here. So, okay, no big deal, right? Other than the fact that people are dying. Stephen, what's a big deal? You know, if people die, the clerical era. Yeah, Andy Cuomo's doing real good with that, huh? The clerical era. What does it matter? It matters to the people who lose their lives. That's who it matters to. So we went -3 in a span of 5 days, and we went plus 33. Interesting enough. But here's what's very strange to me. It could be complete coincidence. I don't know how much of a coincidence it is. So if you look here, from April 2nd to April 9th, there was a plus 33. In here, a plus 33 in a 5-day span. Just interesting. I don't know why that makes a big difference. Another thing I want to look at. I'm trying to make this video as quickly as possible because it wasn't my intention to make a COVID video today. It was going to wait till Friday after my podcast on Thursday. 60 to 69 years old on February 9th. February 9th, 96.75. We are currently at 96 point. Let me move out of the screen here one second. We're currently at 96.88, which is good. But that's a fantastic number. Look at my notes right here. 89.57. Oh, that's good. It's good. 80 and above. We are at 71.93. So even though we were 71.85 on April 2nd, 71.90 on April 9th, and 71.93. Why is it taking us so long to get back to 72.28 survival rate? That's the I forgot to mention that. That's the survival rate. So why is it taking so long to get there? Now, and I've said in previous videos, and if you look back in my I don't know if you want to call it archives, but my other videos, you'll see that there was a I think it was October, November, and December. It was basically a 3% increase in survival rate per month. And then suddenly, after that, we made basically no grounds. We were like a little 0.05 and a 0.03. Now, after vaccines on December 13th, and I should look this up. I always keep thinking it's December 12th, 13th, 14th, right in that area. So I apologize. For here in Connecticut, by the way, the first vaccine given. So January, February, March, and we're in April, right? 4 months basically. Actually, today would probably, if I'm right on the date, this is probably the 4-month anniversary of the first vaccine. So we should have been making leaps and bounds as far as I'm concerned. I just think we should be through the roof on that. But we're not. And again, 96.8. We were already in the 90 plus before the vaccines roll out. We were over 80+% going upwards. And in the 80s and over, they were at one point they were, I think, hovering around 62%, right in that area. I don't have the numbers on hand at the moment. They're somewhere in my paperwork here. But here's what I want to talk about real quick. Even though we're at 96.75, and again, 90 plus, 80 plus, 62, and yes, we're doing better. But the problem I'm having is we were jumping leaps and bounds in survival rate. And then the vaccine rolled out, and I'm just, hey, listen, you got to make a decision on your own on this, but you have to ask yourself why. I'm not an expert in the field. I'm a numbers guy. I love data. And data, by the way, again, is science. So I just follow the numbers. It's just that simple to me. You look at numbers and where it's at. Now, the other thing, too, you look at the large quantity of younger people are fine. We talked about long-term care facilities. Now, out of these 79, we got seven in Connecticut. We have 7,974 long-term. We're like, I think, roughly around 3,500. But I will say this: it's 70+% survival rate in the long-term care facilities in that group. And then we had healthcare workers, and they were like 99+% survival rate. Now, the healthcare workers so far in Connecticut, in the long-term LTCs, all the workers in the LTCs, there has been 4 deaths. There have only been 4. In fact, there have been 4 for months and months. So I can tell you, going back at least 3 months or 2 months, that there was only 4 deaths. So they might have happened earlier on. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to go back again into the archives and print out the PDFs from the Connecticut Department of Health. And again, this is from their website. Now, yes, I got to go break the numbers down, divide them, figure them out what the percentage survival rate is, and so forth. So I do all that legwork. But other than that, it's there. And here's the other thing we talked about in the last video. I think I was talking about it in this video on April 2nd. But we talk about the population. In fact, I've done a video on the COVID-19 population statistics. 321 million people, 325,689 positive cases. And that's out of 3.5 million population. And I don't have it written down here again. I was a little unprepared on some of this, but 3.5 million, 800 or something like that. But anyways, it's under 3.6 million is the population in Connecticut. And we actually have an 8.9%, I should say 8.9% of the total population of Connecticut even got COVID. So that number right there, the 320, well, that was 8.9. I did not do today's number. It was a little bit different, but we'll be conservative, and say 9%. 9% of the population of Connecticut got COVID-19. And less than 1% died of it. I think it's 0.0008 or something like that. And for senior citizens, it was the senior citizen population was 0.0022 or something like that, roughly along those lines. So, which again leads us to believe, let's see, 91%. So 91% of the state of Connecticut did not get COVID. Shocker. But they'll sit there and scream these numbers all day long. 325,000 people, 325,000 people. And the other thing that's fantastic, 8.1 million tests for a population of 3.5 million. So, I have now worked with 4 people. I had it written on the board and I erased it because I was going to do a different video. There were 12 negatives and 3 positives. Because they had to keep on going back. Now, one of them is a kid who keeps flying out the sack. He takes these little weekend things. He takes off to California. Sometimes he goes to Texas. So he keeps on getting a test. Comes up negative every single time. Now think about that. Every single time he comes back, he's tested, he's negative. That's what, 4 times that I think it's 4 times. 4 times that he's been tested. But anyways, I had it written down. But there's been more negative tests than positive tests among these people. And we've talked about, and I'm sure you know them, people have known somebody who never even took a test, and that was a scandal for a little while, but then we just went over that. But remember, 325,000 people, 325,689 cases out of 3.5 million people is not a bad number. I know you're saying, like, that's a lot of people that are positive. All right? Then you look at what? 7,974,000 out of that 325,000 died, which is absolutely sad. Without a shadow of a doubt. It is sad. But I think overall we have, what, a 95.6 survival rate in Connecticut for those who even get COVID. And obviously, yes, that's among the lower generation. But again, 60 to 69, 96.88, 96.90, and I thought I had it put down today. I did not put it down, did I? Interesting. I thought I wrote it down. Well, it's in here. 96.88. So 96. So yeah, 96.88. As I got my head turned to the. Maybe I should put my paperwork like this so I can look at the camera, be a little bit more professional for y'all. So 96.8, 96.90, and today we're at 96.88. So I did not put the numbers percentage down there, but let's walk over here. Let's go ahead and do that. 96.88, 71 point. I'm sorry, that's the 80. About 71.93, and the let's see, 89.57 for the 77. 89.57. 89.57. 89.52. So we've gone up. Now, February 9th, 89.42. So that means what? There was a 0.15% difference. 96.75. There is now a what? Where am I here? Where am I? 88. So doing quick math, 0.13. And the other one's negative still. So since February 19th, even though the vaccine rolled out in December 13th, on February 19th to now, there's been a 0.15 difference. There's been in the 60 to 69, a point, again, I apologize, 0.15 difference between the 79-year-old, 0.13% difference for the 60 to 69 years old, and we're still negative on 80 and over. So we still haven't even got up to where we were in February 9th. That was our highest survival rate, and we haven't got back up to that level yet. It's been going upwards, even though it went on just a decline. And that's the other thing. The 80 and above did not plateau. They did not just go here and stop and just kind of do this. They kind of went like this. And from 60 to 79, they were they were trending this way. But again, we'll point it out again, before that, they were trending like this. Now they're trending like this. That's a huge difference in the trending. Is this professional? Is this amateur hour? Probably amateur hour doing this. We have to understand, and some do, and some just don't want to pay attention to it. But the truth is there. It is just there. And we're going to go to a couple of. Oh, this is the 1611 KJV, which I'm not going to read because that's the print that I can't read. All right, we're going to read out of this one here. So, these are one of my King James Bibles, although I don't know if I want to read from this one particularly. Let's see what I got here. I was hoping for my older one. Is this the one I'm looking for? This should be it. This is the really, really old one. These are cool, seeing these old Bibles. I think this is the 1917 one, as I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to be very ginger with it. 1917. This is fantastic. You know what? I don't want to ruin it. I changed my mind. I don't want to mess with that one. That's really a nice one. That's a KJV. And am I back turning in once again? Yes, it is. All right. Oh, I tripped on a wire down there. All right, we're going to go first to Psalm 71, verse 1. And yes, I was not prepared. I would usually like to have these written ahead of time. But it's fascinating that people don't see it. And I wonder how many people do see it and they just don't care and just rather live in fear. Psalm 71, verse 1. In thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be put to confusion. And what is happening out there today? Continuously putting us in confusion. It's rather sad. It really, really is. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33 in the King James Bible. 33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. This is not designed by God. God does not create this. I mean, man has the choice and the free will to do so, but this is man messing life up and controlling all of us and using us as pawns. And by the way, I look at this as data and these are numbers. I don't know these people, but this is exactly the same thing as the government, except they look at this different. I look at the data to track what they're tracking. They look at you as actually just data. Even when they see the name, you're still just a number. You're still just a number to them. But to God, you're not. To God, you are someone. And you can be so much more than what you are now. All of us can be. Romans chapter 10, verse 13. This is a good one now, because this is where you kind of need to be. This is where we all need to be. Because all of this will get worse. I don't mean the numbers will go up. I mean, this type of stuff is going to get worse. And they're going to lie to you. And they're going to blind you. And they're going to come at you with fear, whether it be about your grandmother, your grandfather, your grandchildren, your child, your son, your daughter. They're going to go after you. And they're going to go after that fear. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. And once you are, you see through all this. Even though you don't, some of the conspiracy people will say, no, I already see through it, I'm not saved. But see, here's a difference. You see it, you get it, you fight for this freedom you think that you have. I see this. And I continue to enjoy the freedom that I have in this country, knowing that those certain freedoms will be taken, but yet I will have eternal freedom. And that is awesome. I will be free. I am free now, and I will be free when I move on, because I will go somewhere where I will always be free. When you are going to hell, you're not free. When you go to heaven, you are free. It's awesome. So with that, I appreciate you tuning in as always. I hope these numbers help you to get through the confusion, the lies. We need to be vigilant, not only about reading the Word of God, which is the most important, and watching the news and fact checking. Be vigilant about paying attention to what the numbers really say. And then, I say then, but you should just go to Romans 10:13. And all this will be clearer than it already is for some of us now. God bless. I love you. Have a beautiful